accelerating the consciousness of humanity every single day. We are at the Conscious Life Expo here in Los Angeles, February 2020, and we are today with Mary Madeiras. Hi Mary, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. I mean, I'm always very humble. I consider myself to be the conduit of the greatness of all my guests, but today I'm extremely humbled just because Mary is someone whose career has been in entertainment and on TV, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's a 3-time Emmy Award winner.
Yes.
And she's also an expert in Akashic Records.
Yes.
And it looks like two completely different worlds, but they really are not, right?
They're not in, well, on paper they're different worlds. But what I'm able to live now by working with the Akashic Records is I'm living what the Akashic Records show us, which is how to mine our assets, our skills, and line more up with what our soul's chosen journeys are. And so for me, I was in entertainment right first, but I always had this sense that my soul was wanting something more. And then I was guided to the Akashic Records, and I didn't listen right away until a book almost hit me in the head off a shelf in a bookstore, literally. And it was about the third time that I was being guided to this particular work. So I listened, and I'm really glad I did, because what the records enable us to do today, especially today on this planet, is look at every aspect, look at aspects of ourselves by actually dialoguing with the divine aspect of ourselves. So when I open someone's records, we are dialoguing within that divine aspect of, if it were you, right? And so what happens is that person gets to sort of snap back into, through the dialogue, what they're here to do, what their soul has chosen to do here. So for me, when I began to study the records for myself, before I became a practitioner, I was guided, I healed my own wounds through the records, and I was able to receive more of what I'm here to do. So instead of me thinking, at some point I did, and a lot of people do this, they'll be on one career trajectory, and then they become something else, and they think, was that a mistake? Is that over there now? What the records show us is that everything is an opportunity for the wholeness of our life and why we're here. And so for me, when I would open my records and I'd think, well, am I leaving entertainment behind? And I would always hear no, because I get blocks of thought from divine. No, we're going to use your imagination. And what the records do for me is, when I'm working with someone, they really use my imagination, which is the asset that I have brought to my career as a director. My imagination, my creativity, storytelling. And so because I'm a storyteller already, they use me to storytell through healing somebody else. It's really amazing, and I'm in awe. You talk about being in awe. I'm in awe of this every single time I enter the records. It is a powerful, beautiful, loving realm, and it's who we are. It's the aspect of all of us.
If you had a 10-year-old kid in front of you and you were to explain him or her what the Akashic Records are, how would you do it?
Well, actually, it's interesting. I have to answer this question. I probably would not have to, because when we're really young, we're already still in touch with that part of ourselves. I mean, look at Harry Potter, right? I mean, look at the imagination. Look at children and their imaginations. They're in touch with that aspect of themselves. We just don't call it that, right? So I imagine if it was a 10-year-old, I would probably just start talking about this realm, and they probably wouldn't even let me finish and say, yeah, I already know about that. That's when I feel really good. That's when I feel love. That's when I feel excited about something. That's when I'm playing and I kind of get lost. And I would say, yeah, that you're in it. That's probably where you are. So I think they get it already.
So the Akashic Records is something. So everybody, every human being has their own Akashic Records.
Yes, every
Okay.
human. It is basically it is the every soul's journey from lifetime after life. Each soul has an imprint in the divine realm, in the ethereal realm. It's a quantum imprint. So yours is specific to you. And when I open your records, let's say, I'm calling your name, your legal name, which has a quantum signature in the field, and that opens up everything about you. And that's how it works. So each one of us has that specific quantum signature, and it's our soul's path going lifetime. We go back lifetimes many times, and oftentimes a lifetime will show up during a reading because it's giving appropriate information to help somebody realign in the now. Really, all this is about is a tool, I feel, what I've experienced is in our lives in 3D, it's so dense, right, third dimension, and it's challenging. And we get like sprockets out of, we get a little bit off our, what our soul's journey is. And when we're off and we enter the records and dialogue within the records, the light activation, the light energies of who we are just gently bring us right back in through dialoguing, through looking at aspects of our lives or past lives. It's given to me by the light energies of each person that are invited to come. Your light energies are not mine, yours, and I get blocks of thought and sometimes images. So everybody can access their own records. It's just a matter of intention and being interested in it.
You've used three very interesting terms. You've used accessing, entering, and opening.
Yes.
So I guess they are in like some kind of high security vault or something.
No, it's a sacred prayer. At least the process that I've learned. I've studied through Linda Howe, who has the Center of Akashic Studies in Chicago, and for my process, it's a sacred prayer that opens and asks and then invites that realm with the permission of the person. So what happens is we're inviting in the light energies and the overseers of that person's Akashic records, and that opens it up. And so it's a quantum opening. And then as we dialogue, permission must happen. And so the entering comes from that. It's a sacred prayer inviting the Holy Spirit of light to help us for the highest good of everybody involved. And what were the other words used? Entering, accessing, and
Opening.
opening. Yeah, the entering and opening is the same, pretty much. Yeah.
So if we, let's say, we have been in this dimension, we have had several existences or reincarnations.
Yes.
Do we always like write on the same codes? Do we modify those codes every time that we come to this existence?
It's here. Great question.
Thank you.
It's the same. It's the same signature. Let's call it a signature. Kind of the way binary code. There's a never ending to a specific form of numbers, right? So that stays the same. However, our DNA, our energy, the energy of lifetime after lifetime comes in with us and sometimes becomes transmuted depending on what our soul's journey in that lifetime is. So the signature, yes, stays the same. However, the energy within our DNA shifts and changes. That makes sense.
So our DNA and the Akashic Records are connected?
Yes.
How?
So because DNA is energy.
Okay.
And now we're learning, I guess Greg Braden has been doing a lot of this, or I forget who, but we're actually measuring that 97, I may be wrong at the number, but that large amount of our DNA is actually quantum. So that goes with us. That doesn't die, because energy doesn't die, we know that. It can change its color, it can transmute. If it's an energy, for example, if somebody was a murderer in another lifetime, they may come in with, are they coming in with murder energy and they murder? Not necessarily, because their soul may in another incarnation decide to shift and transform that energy, right, into the use of that in some other way, like maybe a light way or a teaching way. And so the energy can shift and change, kind of because the quantum field is moving all the time. So that can shift and change. But our signature, as far as I know, from what I hear, is we're talking about, a non-physical arena here. And so, it's what I know to be true. So the signature stays the same, or how we call each other in the records.
Who would typically be the person, the human being that would come to you asking for help? What would they expect? What can they expect after you work with someone on their Akashic Records?
Yeah, it's that sprocket thing. So the common theme that I'm finding people come with is, I feel stuck in my life. I feel like there's something I'm supposed to do and I don't know what it is. That's the most common issue or concern. And so what the records do is when we dialogue within the records, there are two things that are happening. The person themselves is creating their own they're re-remembering who they are through the dialogue. The other thing that seems to be happening is because it's divine, the divine itself has its own light energies. And the masters, teachers, and loved ones who are the keepers of each person's records, that there are light energies, they're not spirits or ghosts, but they're light energies. They're present, they come in, they're invited in, and they kind of heal. There's healing that happens that I can't explain literally. We went in a laboratory, we wouldn't be able to do it. And I think that's just the way of divine, and I'm really in awe of it, because it happens every single time. Sometimes it doesn't matter what we're talking about, and the person feels more complete. So what do they expect? Clarity. They get clarity. I see that happen. We also heal wounds, and we heal wounds, past wounds or past life wounds, by not banging around at them, but by bringing them through our own truth to the records and to the session, and then looking at those wounds as opportunities in the now in our lives. And I've seen people take in the records and sessions a chunk of career over here, a desire to be this over here, and something else they want to do, and they think they're all three, and when we finish with a reading, all three have blended into some magnificent endeavor that only fits that person, and then they feel fabulous, and they know now that everything they've ever done plays a part in who they are right now. That's, I think, what the records show us. Because we've been programmed on Earth, to some degree, to think that happens over there, then you move over there and that happens, and when you move over here, that's gone. No, it's not. It's not at all. When we put them together, that's when we breathe life into the aspects of ourselves that we thought were done. It breathes a new endeavor, a new, and then usually, because those are the aspects of who we are, when we bring them together, we're more of who we are. And then we snap in, and we're back on our soul's journey. And it's interesting, people come to the records. I don't go seek, ever. People just come to the record, like I did. I came to the records. I don't know why, but that is what happens. It may be divine. It may be an inner calling, a feeling that this is the right process for them.
Wonderful. What's the easiest way for our audience to reach out to you, to connect with you?
Well, my website is Spirit Therapy by Mary. So it's SpiritTherapyByMary, SpiritTherapyByMary.com. And my email address also, which is also on the website, is a divine realm at gmail.com.
Wonderful.
It's an amazing. It's amazing work. I'm honored to do this, and I never cease to be amazed. And there's so much love. Divine just has its way with us with love. It's just love. The planet, I think what it appears to me is happening is because we're kind of knocking around on this planet, and Gaia is going to be okay. I'm always assured that from the divine realm. Gaia will be okay. Humanity, we need a little help here. And I think what's happening is divine is just punching through through, there's more healers, look at this place here, more psychics, more channelers, more mediums, more high conscious people. And I think that that's offering portals, and divine is just popping in and going, all right, we're here to like help you write this.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you, Mary.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Again, this is Angel Rebo with Expansion Network. We are here accelerating the consciousness of humanity from the Conscious Life Expo 2020, Los Angeles, California. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have enjoyed our show and our interview, our chat with Mary as much as we have.